During the pandemic summer of 2020, Sharkdoe Studios was at a crossroads. Founder and producer J.D. Force was facing a rapidly shrinking roster of talent. Lead act, Cheese and the Graters, were 2 years removed from the infamous Fromage Garage sessions, and hadn't played together for over a year. Talented newcomers, the Vinnie de Bong duo, defaulted on their new contract when frontman, Vinnie de Bong, was hospitalized for snorting coke off of a police dog. And decrepit drummer, Grover, of the Two Old Bastards, had used his COVID relief check on Viagra and had not been seen for months. With his original lineup suddenly in shambles, Force was unsure how to proceed.
I was unsure how to proceed.
Mr. Force has requested that we say he scoured the globe looking for new talent. However, research indicates that A. Mr. Force is in reality very lazy, and B. what he in fact did do was sit on his lazy bum and search online. When an in-depth search of Pornhub failed to yield results, Force was suddenly hit with a stroke of genius. Why not be the first person ever to use the internet, not just for pornography, but for business purposes as well? This brilliant, innovative new strategy paid immediate dividends when Force stumbled across a British group calling themselves the Shadow Band. Force saw potential and immediately signed the band to a lifetime contract.
I saw potential and immediately signed the band to a lifetime contract.
Is he really going to keep doing that? Force quickly got them in studio, turned on the damn lights, and rebranded the group Sounds by Slags. By October 1, 2020, the Slags had delivered their first 3 singles, Brit Riffs, River Rock, and Space Race. By October 2nd, Force had yet another epiphany: the Slags were rubbish.
By October 2nd, I had yet another epiphany.
Damn it, how about no more from this bloody idiot?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
A deeper dive into the band's creative process revealed that while drummer, Drunk Grunt, and bassist, Beelzer Bass, were solid, guitar player Clyde Clive was a bit of a narcoleptic and often slept through guitar solos. While preparing to again beat the bushes for another band, Force came across another stroke of good fortune. When guitarist Clive failed to re-emerge after falling asleep while diving for cocaine off the Florida coast. That very day, while practicing his surely soon-to-be syndicated talk show, Force noticed a hobo passed out in the studio. After vigorously interrogating the man for 11 hours, Force learned 2 things. 1. His name was Grasher, and 2. He didn't speak a word of English. Unsure how to proceed, Force tried a Bing search for the name Grasher, which returned fairly typical Bing results. Switching to a properly working search engine quickly revealed an ad for a missing guitar player that may or may not be named Grasher, posted by someone calling themselves Alistair Malice. Malice explained that he and Grasher had been touring with a band called Hot Dog and the Mustards. When Grasher drove off with the band's tour bus from a Buc-ee's in St. Augustine, Florida. Sensing a solution to his Slags problem, as well as a shot at some free yellow studio equipment, Force convinced Malice to hang out in the studio and sit in with what remained of the Slags. That session resulted in the Slags' first single featuring the new lineup of Alistair Malice, Grasher, Beelzer Bass, and Drunk Grunt, called 321 Funk. In a pathetic attempt to capitalize on his recent death, Force released the final 2 Slags recordings featuring Clyde Clive, heckling societal norms, and Winter Wasteland, as the postmodern sessions. The new Slags had a unique sound, but an atrocious work ethic. So on Thanksgiving 2020, Force threw some food on the floor, locked the studio doors, and told the band they couldn't come out until they had recorded 10 new songs. While his tactics were later described in court documents as human rights violations, the results were undeniable. The Thanksgiving incident, as it became known, produced a string of hits for the Slags, including Six-Toe Blues, Rot Gut Strut, the psychedelic classic, Shrooms Go Boom, and their signature hit, Meet the Slags. With the Slags now earning literally dozens of YouTube views per release, Force was keen to expand the brand, with a Sounds by Slags animated series in the tradition of the Beatles and Jabba Jaw. On August 12, 2021, Those Damn Lil Slags debuted on the WC network. By November 2021, Force had exhausted all the material from the Thanksgiving session of 2020. Complicating matters, the Slags were refusing to report to the studio, without a guarantee that if again locked in the studio, the restrooms would remain unlocked. Under mounting pressure to produce content for the studio's 3rd anniversary and upcoming 100th video release, Force agreed to the band's terms. However, to offset the cost of turning the water back on, this time Force locked them in, without the food. And once again, those starving bastards delivered, not just the studio's 100th video, 100 blunders, but a string of hits including Spaghetti on a Stick, Dig the 8, Make It Pretty, Bum Over Noggin, and what many consider to be their best work, The Red Ass. With the studio experiencing unprecedented success, Force was anxious to realize a lifelong dream: massive profits from someone else's work. So he directed the band to record a cover song. The Slags were less than enthused. Negotiations were stalled until the band's lawyers, Jojo and Bobo, pointed out that Force had never actually paid the band. Realizing his options were limited, Force reluctantly agreed to pay the Slags if the band would record. The Slags unanimously agreed. Unfortunately for the group, Force was once again completely bullshitting. Even still, the Slags lived up to their word, and on December 16, 2022, they released their version of Steady As She Goes by the Raconteurs. Twenty 2023 saw the Slags' run of hits continue, with the releases of Sky Rot, Intrepid Super Thieves, Exit 333 Halfway to Hell, and the Van Halen-inspired No Help for Vernon. On May 16, 2023, Shark Toe Studios released Bluffin' Wit Nothin', Sounds by Slags' 38th single. And sadly, it may have been their last.
While on holiday, Shark Toe artist and Sounds by Slags guitarist Alistair Malice has been indefinitely detained after running nude on the field at Traeger Park during an AFL footy match in Alice Springs, Australia.
After Malice's arrest on July 18th, Force responded in his usual empathetic manner by signing 2 new groups to replace the Slags. On July 21, 2023, Shark Toe Studios debuted the first of those bands, Tommy Lobotomy and the Headaches. From October 2020 to May 2023, Sounds by Slags gifted to the world 38 classic jams. No one can say for certain if the Slags will ever play together again, but should they re-emerge, one thing is certain. That maniacal prick, JD Force, will be ready and waiting to exploit every last note. Shark Toe Studios. Redefining delusional for a new generation.
What do you think of Sounds by Slags breaking up?
I didn't even know they got married.
What do you think about Sounds by Slags breaking up?
I have no idea what that is.
Wait, you mean those bastards that broke up Hot Dog and the Mustards? They can go straight to hell.
What did you think of the Slags?
You know, they're good for a cartoon band, but I don't need to go see it live, man.
Sounds by Slag? Are you sure you are pronouncing that correctly?
How did the Slags music make you feel?
Sick to my stomach, but, not in a good way.
We busted them for possession in 2021, so they offered to do a benefit concert for the policeman's retirement fund.
So we tacked on a threatening an officer charge.
Surely you must have something nice to say about Sounds by Slags.
No, I don't think so. I hate those people.
Wow, what a complete asshole.